Imagine, standing in a smoky hall where gods cut their palms and let their blood mingle over a drinking horn, sealing a promise that will one day tear their world apart. This is how Odin, the All-Father, and Loki, the mercurial son of giants, became sworn brothers. To the Aesir, such a blood oath was more binding than birth. They swore never to drink ale unless both were served. Breaking it would dishonor everything Odin stood for. Odin ruled the Aesir with wisdom, sacrificing an eye for knowledge and roaming the 9 worlds in disguise. Loki, quick-tongued and shape-shifting, charmed his way into Asgard's feasts and earned Odin's trust. Together, they embodied wisdom and chaos, a partnership that brought great gifts to the gods yet sowed seeds of destruction. This oath explains why Loki remained in Asgard despite his mischief, and why Odin hesitated for so long to punish him. The bond would also force Odin to confront the limits of loyalty when mischief escalated into murder. The two shared a taste for adventure. On their travels with the quiet god Mjölnir, they relied on Loki's cunning. In one story, the trio killed an ox but couldn't cook it until an eagle, really the giant Thiasse, offered to roast it for a share. When the eagle took too much, Loki struck him and was dragged through the woods until he promised to ransom Idun and her apples of youth. Loki's abduction of Idun nearly destroyed Asgard as the gods aged, but he redeemed himself by stealing her back and escaping the giant. In another tale, a giant mason offered to build a wall around Asgard in exchange for Freya, the sun and the moon. Loki urged the gods to accept, but later transformed into a mare to distract the giant's stallion, delaying the work and preventing payment. He returned pregnant, giving birth to Sleipnir, the 8-legged horse he gifted to Odin. Loki also turned a prank, shearing Sif's golden hair, into an opportunity to collect treasures from the dwarves. Sif's new hair, Odin's spear Gungnir, the ship Skidbladnir, the boar Gullinbursti, the ring Draupnir, and Thor's hammer Mjölnir. Even when the dwarves sewed his mouth shut for meddling, Loki's tongue couldn't stay silent for long. Not all their adventures ended happily. While traveling through Midgard, Odin, Loki, and Mjölnir killed an otter at a waterfall, only to learn it was the shape-shifting son of their host, Hreidmar. The grieving farmer and his sons Regin and Fafnir seized the gods and demanded compensation. The otter's skin must be filled and covered with gold. Odin sent Loki to fetch it. The trickster captured the dwarf Andvari, took his hoard and a ring the dwarf cursed before parting with it. The gods filled the otter's skin, covering the last whisker with Andvari's ring. Though Hreidmar was appeased, the cursed treasure soon led Fafnir to murder his father and become a dragon, showing how one misstep by the gods unleashed tragedy across the world. Despite close calls, Loki remained protected by Odin's oath until his most grievous act. Baldr, Odin's beloved son, was tormented by dreams of his own death. His mother Frigg secured promises from every creature and object not to harm him, except the seemingly harmless mistletoe she overlooked. The gods amused themselves by throwing weapons at Baldr, which bounced off harmlessly. Loki, jealous of Baldr's adoration, fashioned a dart from mistletoe and gave it to Baldr's blind brother Höder, guiding his hand. The twig struck Baldr dead, plunging Asgard into grief. Frigg begged Hel to return her son, and Hel agreed only if every being wept for him. All did except the giantess, believed to be Loki in disguise. So Baldr remained in the underworld. At last, Odin's oath clashed with justice. The murder of his son could not be forgiven. Realizing he had gone too far, Loki fled, hiding in a valley and shape-shifting into a salmon. Using a net like the one Loki had once used on the dwarf Andvari, the gods caught him. Thor's grip on his tail explains why salmon have tapering tails. Instead of spilling blood in Asgard, they dragged Loki to a cave. There they bound him with the intestines of his own son, turned to iron, and suspended a venomous serpent above his face. Loki's wife Sigyn knelt beside him, catching the poison in a bowl. Whenever she turned to empty it, drops hit Loki's skin, causing him such agony that his convulsions shook the earth. Thus the earth's tremors were explained as Loki's writhing beneath the serpent's venom. Bound in darkness, the once gleeful Trickster seethed with thoughts of vengeance. The blood oath that began with camaraderie ended with chains and venom. Odin had long upheld his promise, benefiting from Loki's guile, even as mischief spun into danger. But when mischief became murder, justice required punishment. Norse prophecy foretold, however, that Loki's bindings would not last forever. At Ragnarok, the twilight of the gods, Loki will break free, sail a ship made from dead men's nails, and lead giants and monsters against the gods. He will face Heimdall, and both will slay each other. Odin will be devoured by the wolf Fenrir, one of Loki's offspring. The world will end and be reborn from the sea. This saga highlights the tension between order and chaos, loyalty and justice. Odin and Loki's bond brought protection and treasures, but every gift carried a cost. Loki's deadliest trick, the slaying of Baldr, exposed the gods' vulnerability and signaled the end of their golden age. For modern listeners, the tale invites a reflection on how far one should go to honor a promise. Odin's answer lies in the cave where his blood brother writhes beneath venom, waiting for the final battle.